6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritual activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith on the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
हरे कृष्ण वदना माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण ब्यूटीफुल बैकग्राउंड माता जी जय श्री कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, Danraj Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे
Thank you,
कृष्ण
Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please go ahead with your introductions.
Hare Krishna Vandana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to all assembled devotees and my humble obeisances to them. This is Harita from Texas Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rita Mataji, Danraj Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Unita Gandharvika Mataji, Danraj Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All goes to Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shamagauri Mataji, Danraj Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I think Prabhuji is not joined yet, Mataji. In the meantime, we'll continue our chanting, Mataji. Sunita Mataji. Yeah.
Mataji.
Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutane Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Dev Gauravani Pracharani Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurav Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, 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 Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Ram, Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vrashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dhanami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauriam Pracharane Nirvasesha Sunivadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Mataji
Hare.
Prabhuji joined.
Yeah, that's
We will start the recording.
Welcoming to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter number 14, verse 1 to 3. Before diving into the call, I'll hand out the call to Sureshwar Sham Prabhu to give brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I think Suresh Sham Prabhu is not there, Mataji. We can just get into the class. That's okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association us to enlighten on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll hand out the call to you, Prabhuji. We are very grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all devotees, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to enlighten myself and discuss something about the Lord's pastimes. I'm fortunate, I feel fortunate and honored to be among you. So I will just be sharing the screen. We start with the yes that we want to discuss. Hare Krishna. So hope my screen is visible, Mataji, to all of you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you so much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Devaki Nandanaya Cha. Nandagopakumaraya. Govindaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chayeva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshriki. So, this is the first verse of chapter 14 of Canto 8. And we will take up 1, 2, and 3. The first, second, and third verse. This Canto, this chapter. So we read this one. Hirajo uvac manvantareshu bhagavan yatha manvadaya stutame yasmin karmani yena niptastadavadasume. Hirajo uvac manvantareshu bhagavan yatha manvadayastve yasmin karmani yena नियुक्तास तद वदस्सु मे. सिराजोवाच मन्वन्तरेषु भगवन् यथा मन्वादयस्तु मे यस्मिन् कर्मणि ये येन नियुक्ता तद वदस्सु मे. The translation is like this. Sirajovach, King Parikshit said, Manvantaresh, in the reign of each Manu, Bhagwan, O great says, Yatha as Manuadaya, the Manus and others, to what? Ime, these, Yasmin, in which Karmani, activities, A, which persons, Yen, by whom, Nyuktaha, appointed, Tat, that, Badasu, kindly describe me to me. Translation and purports by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit inquired, O most opulent Shukadeva Goswami, please explain to me how Manu and the others in each Manvantara are engaged in their respective duties and by whose order they are so engaged. Next verse. Sirisuruvacha Manuvo Manuputrascha Munyascha Mahipate Indra Surgadas Chayev Sarve Purusashana. Sukdev Goswami said, the Manus, that is the son of Manu, the Manus, the son of Manus, the great sages, the Indras, and all the demigods, O king, are appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations such as Yajna. Third verse is this. Yagyadayo ya kathita Paurvasyasthanavo nrapa Manvadayo jagadyatram nayantyabhi prachodita. O king, I have already described to you various incarnations of the Lord, such as Yajna, the Manus, and others are chosen by these incarnations, under whose direction they conduct the universal affairs. O king, I have already described to you various incarnations of the Lord, such as Yajna. The Manus and others are chosen by these incarnations, under whose direction they conduct the universal affairs. Which it's a well-line purport by Prabhupada. The Manus execute the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjan Salakaya Chakshurnamilintam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahiyam Dadati Shapadantikam Vande Aham Sri Guru Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Shagara Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijanasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padana Shagara Lalita Sivishakhanvitansa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Ancha Kalpatarubhisha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yatkripatamaham vande Sri Gurudina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Isharam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatari Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances unto lotus feet of all you devotees, all you assembled devotees. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 topics which are described. Atra sarga visargasya sthanam posanam yutya manvantar ishan katha nirodho mukti asrayam. In second canto, these 10 subject matters have been described in short. Atra, in this Srimad Bhagavatam, sarga visargasya. Sarga means primary creation and visarga means secondary creation. Primary creations means the fundamental elements of creation, which are created by the Lord Himself, or the primary creation, or the creation that is directly done by the Lord, is called sarga. And visarga is the secondary creation, which is done by Brahmaji. These are two topics. First, that is sarga. Second is visarga. And third topic of Srimad Bhagavatam is Sthanam. Sthanam means various or different planetary systems. Fourth topic is Posanam. Posanam means protection of his devotees by the Lord. And then there is Utaya, the fifth topic of Bhagavatam. Utaya means the creative impetus. Then there is Manvantar, that is discussion about different Manus, and Isanukatha. Isanukatha means signs of God. And then there is Nirodho, that is going back home, back to Godhead, and Mukti, that is liberation, and Asrayam means the Samam and Bonam. Now, first two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are actually like introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. Third canto describes Sarga. Fourth canto describes Visarga, that is a secondary creation. And the fifth canto describes Sthanam, that is different planetary systems. There we come to know about highly heavenly planets and lower planetary systems also, like Bhurlok, Swargalok, Janalok, Tapalok, Meherlok, Brahmalok, Satyalok. And this description is there in the fifth canto. Then there Tal, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Patal. So this description of the 14 planetary systems is there in the fifth canto. And there is a description about, various, you know, uh, planets and their orbits in this fifth canto only. Then comes Utaya. Utaya means the creative impetus. This is there in the seventh canto, where there is a story of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu and the discussion between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Maharaji. Manvantra, that is, there is one more topic, that the Posanam, it is there in the sixth canto. How the Lord protects his devotees. So there is talk about Ajamil story, and then there is talk about Vrittasur, how Vrittasur in the battlefield, how he is taking shelter of the Lord, how Lord protects even his devotees even when they are fallen in very demonic species or demonic lives. So Utaya, the creative impetus in the seventh canto, and Manvantar, that is changes of Manus, or various periods of Manus, is in the eighth canto, which we are discussing as of now. Isanukatha, that is science of God, is there in ninth canto, and Nirodho, that is going back home back to God, is there in 10th canto. Mukti or liberation is described in the 11th canto, and Asrayam, that is Samam Bhona, is there in the 12th canto. So this is the various subject matters that have been described in the Srimad Bhagavatam in various cantos. So right now we are discussing, Manvantara. Now, the first chapter of this canto, of eighth canto, it talks about six manus. Six manus. As we know, in one day of Brahma, which consists of 1000 cycles of Chaturyugas, there are 14 manus. And 14, the period of one manu, the ruling period of one manu is equivalent to approximately 71 Chaturyugas. If we, multiply 17 by 14, the number will be somewhere around 995, like that. So there is five Chaturyugas, which is Yuga Sandhya, the transition period from one Yuga to two Yuga. Like right now, the Kali is starting now. It is the starting phase of Kali. But still, there are traces of Dapar in this age. Kali is not in its full strength as of now. This is just the beginning. So this transition period is called Yuga Sandhya, that the transition from one yuga to other is also some period. That's how 1000 Chaturyuga, which is one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and the ruling period of one Manu is approximately 71 Chaturyugas. So, as we know, there are, six kind of incarnations of the Lord: Purusha Avatara, Guda Avatara, Leela Avatara, Manvantara Avatara, Saktavesh Avatara, and then Sahitya Avatars, literary incarnation of the Lord. Like Purusha Avatara are three Purusas, that is Karnadakshay Vishnu or Mahavishnu. Then from him is the Garbhadakshay Vishnu, and then Shirodakshay Vishnu. And Shirodakshay Vishnu manifest as Paramatma and even the atom and in the heart of every living being. And that's how the Purusha Avatara, the Lord extends his control over everything, over all mobile and immobile beings. Like Annantarastha, Parmanu Chanantarastha. Lord is there in even the atom. Lord is there in our heart as Paramatma feature. And that's how the Lord controls everything. And without Lord's presence in the atom or in living beings' heart, neither living beings can function nor this creation can function. Just like a government extend its effect, influence, control on everything, and even on a red light, on a traffic red light, the government is present in the form of a green or red signal. Because if we jump the signal, then there is going to be challan. We are going to be penalized for this thing. So there is control of government even on a red light or crossing. Similarly, the Lord has control over everything, and without Lord control, nothing can function. This we need to understand. Just as a government has control over every being, every citizen in its state, similarly, Lord has complete control in the three creations. So this Lord does through his Purusha avatars. Then there are Gura avatars, as we know, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma is, takes the charge of mode of passion, and Shiva takes charge of mode of ignorance, and Lord Vishnu himself takes the charge of mode of goodness. Then there are Leela avatars, as we know, like Nrsimha, Ram, Balaram, Parasuram. These are Leela avatars. Then there's Satyavis avatars. Satyavis avatars means when Lord, you know, empowers some living entity, then that living entity who is empowered with the potency of the Lord is called Saktavya Avatara. Then there are literary incarnations, like Naradji is Saktavya Avatara, and Vyasdev is literary incarnation. Srimad Bhagavatam himself is literary incarnation of Krishna. So then there are Manvantar avatars. In every Manvantar, there is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu who gives directions and instructions to Manus and sons of Manus and to Indra and others. In every Manvantar, there is a different incarnation of the Lord. Sometimes some Leela Avatara may also be a Manvantar Avatara, because ultimately the Leela Avatar has also to be in some Manvantar only. Sometimes there is the same Avatar is there. So we'll describe, we will, in the previous chapter, that is 13th chapter, all 14 Manus have been described. They have been discussed. In the very first chapter, 6 Manus were described, and from 7th to 14th Manus, they have been described in the 13th chapter. That is chapter previous to this one, which we are discussing right now. I will take a small just recapitulation of this. The first Manu is Swayambhu Manu, as we know, and he had two sons, Priyavarth and Uttanpa, and three daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devati. Prasuti is married to Daksha, and Akuti is married to Ruchi, Prajapati Ruchi, and Devati is married to Kardamuni, as we know. From Akuti and Prajapati Ruchi, a son was born, that was Yagya. Yagya. And Sambhu Manu had married his daughter Akuti to Prajapati Ruchi on the condition that the son that they will beget will be returned to Sambhu Manu. This is called Putrika Dharma. Putrika Dharma means if his father wants, he can adopt his daughter's son, and that son can be considered as his own son, and from him, any lineage that comes further will be considered his own. So this is called Putrika Dharma. So though Swayambhu Manu had two sons, that is Priyavat and Uttanpad, still he adopted the son of his daughter, that was Lord Yagya. And Lord Yagya is incarnation and is incarnation of the Lord in the Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu. Then second Manu was Swarochis. He was son of Agni, and Lord Vibhu was incarnation of this Manvantar. He was son of Virsara and his wife was Tushita. Third, fourth, and fifth Manus bear son of Priyavat, that is grandson of Swayambhu Manu himself. Third, fourth, and fifth. Third was Uttam. As we know, Priyavat was elder to Uttanpad. But since Sukhdev Goswami wanted to narrate the story of Dhruv Maharaj first, therefore he took up the story of Uttanpad first. Priyavat Maharaj was actually the elder son of Swayambhu Manu. And Priyavat Maharaj was very much detached. Having heard from Naradji about the material world, he got so detached that he was not at all willing to enter into Grastha Ashram, and he was not willing to reign. He was not willing to take charge of the kingdom. It was only when Brahmaji came and Brahmaji persuaded him that he entered in the Grastha Ashram, Priyavat Maharaj, and that he agreed to rule. So Priyavat Maharaj's son, that was Uttam, he was third Manu, and Satyasen, who was born of Dharma and his wife Sunita, was the incarnation of the Lord in this. Fourth Manu was Tamas, who is Uttam's brother, that is Priyavat's son. And in this incarnation, or in this Manvantar, Lord Hari appeared. And this is the same incarnation of the Lord which protected this elephant from the catch of the crocodile, Gajendra Moksha. And he was born out of Harimedha and Hayani. Fifth Manu is Revat, who is also son of Priyavat Maharaj. And Lord Vishnu took incarnation as Lord Vyakuntha in this Manvantar. Sixth Manu was Chakshus Manu, and he was actually in the lineage of the Uttanpad. After sixth generation of Dhruv Maharaj, Chakshus was born, and he became the sixth Manu. Lord appeared as Ajit in this Manvantar. Seventh Manu is Devaswat Manu, which is our current Manu, that is, and his other name is Radhe, and Lord Baman is said to be the incarnation of this Manvantar. Now eighth Manu will be. Now this is description about the future Manu, which is there, in the 13th chapter previous to this. Savarni Manu will be the next Manu, and Sarvabhaum will be the incarnation of the Lord. Then there will be Daksh Savarni Manu, the ninth one. Rishabh will be the incarnation of the Lord in this Manvantar. And Brahma Savarni will be the 10th Manu. Vishwakashin will be the Lord's incarnation in this Manvantar. Dharma Savarni is going to be 11th Manu, and Dharma Setu is going to be Lord's incarnation in this Manvantar. Rudra Savarni is the 12th Manu. Sudhama is going to Lord's incarnation in this Manvantar. And Dev Savarni is 13th Manu, and Yogeshwara is going to be, Lord's incarnation in this Manvantara, and 14th Manu is going to be in the Savarni. Brahad Bhanu is going to be the Lord's incarnation in this Manvantara. So, in various manvantras, there are various incarnations of the Lord, such as Yagya, Vibhu, Satyasen, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajit, Vaman, Sarvabhauma, Rishabh, Vishwakrasen, Dharma Setu, Sudhama, Yogeshwar, Tha, Vradvanu, and Vradvanu, which we just described. So, the seventh Manu, or the current Manu, as we know, is son of Vivaswan. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, fourth chapter, Imam Vivaste Yogan, Proktavan Aham Abhyam, Vivashan Manve Prab, Manu Chhakave Abrabit. This infallible knowledge, Arjun, O Arjun, this infallible knowledge, that is the Yoga Vidya, that is that knowledge which connects the living entity to the Supreme Soul. Imam Vivaste Yogam, Proktavan Aham Abhyam. I spoke first to whom? Vivashate, Lord Vivashwan. Lord Vivashwan. Vivashan Manvepra. And Vivashwan spoke it to Manu, his son. Manu Chhakya and Manu spoke it to Ichhaku, who was his son. So, who is Manu? In this Manmantar, Vivashwat Manu. And he is son of Vivashwan. Vivashwat means son of Vivashwan. Vivashwan is actually the sun god. And to him, Lord spoke Bhagavad Gita. There is history of this, which Prabhupada has elaborately described in his purport in this first verse of fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So he's also called Saddev. He had 10 sons, as we know. Ichhaku, as we know, in which Lord Rama Chandra appeared. Then there was his second son was Navag, and the son of Navag was Nabhag, and Nabhag's son was Maharaj Ambarish. This story will come, then there will be discussion of the story of Maharaj Ambarish and Durvasa Rishi, which we hear. He was also son of Vavashwat Manu, our current Manu, seventh Manu. Then third son was Dhrishta, fourth was Saryati, then there is Narsyant, then Nabhag, and then Dist, and Tarus, Prasad, and Vashuman. And the name of current Indra is Purandar. We need to understand one thing here. There is different set of demigods and sages in every Manvantara. Like current Indra's name is Purandar, and Indra in the next Manvantara, that is eighth Manvantara, which is going to Sabadvanu, Virochan son Bali Maharaj is going to be Indra. So Indra is a position. Indra is a position. Similarly, Manu is a position. Brahma is a position. This is the position. And in the eighth Manvantara, Galab and Parasuram is going to be among the seven sages. Currently, the seven sages are Kashyap, Atri, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagini, and Bharadwaj. These are the seven sages. Now, what happens? There's certain things which are very interesting to know. Manvantaram Manurdeva, Manputra Sureshwara, Risho Ansavatarasya Hare Shadiva Uchate. Manvantaram Manurdeva, Manus and Manuputra, that is sons of Manus, and Sureshwara, that is Indra, and Risho, that is the seven sages. They are actually the partial incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they follow instructions of the particular incarnation of Lord Vishnu in that Manvantar. Like in the first Manvantar, Lord Yagna, he was the incarnation in that Manvantar, and his instruction they were following. And people are, the Manus are, or Manu's sons are, or the Indras and the seven sages are supposed to follow. All these Manus and their sons are just like a royal family. When there used to be kingly government, then there used to be royal families. So everyone in a royal family used to have power and they used to be rulers, Kshatriyas. So the actual rulers or administrators of the universe are actually the Manus. And Manu and Manu's sons, they are like royal family. And these demigods, like Indra changes in every Manvantara, and so changes other demigods. If Indra is a position, then There are various positions of different, stakeholders also. Just like Council of Ministers, there is Chief Minister, and then there are other ministers. So Indra is actually Devendra, that is his chief among the all the demigods. So he is kind of chief minister, and other demigods are ministers. So as with the new formation of the government, the council of ministers changes. Similarly, in every manvantar there is different set of chief minister and the council of ministers. And these Rishigana, the seven sages which are currently Kashyap, Atri, Vasisht, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaj, they are actually set of counselors, advisors. Just as a king receives advice from a rishi, they are called Rajrishi. Like Devarasi means one who knows the knowledge of Brahma, and one who advises demigods is called Devarasi. Brahmarisi means one who has knowledge of Brahman, one who has realized Brahman is called Brahmarisi. And all those kings who are ruling, and as well as they realize the knowledge of Brahman, they are called Rajarishi, like Maharaj Yudhishthir, Ambarish Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, of course, Ramchandra is Lord himself. So they are called Rajarishi. And all those rishis who are Brahma Rishi but who are advising the kings, they are also called Rajarishi. They are also called Rajarishi. Like Dhome Rishi and Vasishtha Vasishtha was Rajrishi. He was Brahmarishi also. A Rajrishi is anyhow a Brahmarishi. Similarly, Devarishi is anyhow a Brahmarishi. Brahmarishi means one who has realized the Brahman, and one who is advising. A Brahmarishi who is advising demigods is called a Devarishi, and a demigod and a sage who has realized Brahman is advising a king or ruling king is called a Rajrishi. So these seven series are kind of Rajrishis. They advise about the principles of religion. And whenever after every Chaturyuga, like there is Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, and Kalyug. And as we know, in Satyug, all four pillars of religion are intact. Satya Socham, Daya Satyam. Truth and purity, and compassion, and what is one? Uh, Truth, compassion, purity, sat, swacham, and there's one more. Hmm. Istriyapana, gambling. Ah, Uttampanam, Istriya.
Mercy,
Yeah, but austerity, austerity. Cleanliness is, of course, purity, what I said. Cleanliness, austerity, and then there is
mercy.
that is compassion. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is no. Yes. Gambling takes away, truth, and intoxication. That is austerity, tapasya. It is so. These are four. Truth, cleanliness, compassion, and austerity. So all these, pillars of religion are intact in Satyuga. Then, as the ages or millenniums progress, as they come down to Treta, Dwapar, and Kalyug, then one by one, pillar of religion goes. So in the current age, in Kali Yuga, the religion is simply standing on one foot, that is of truthfulness, and that is not also complete in itself. So what happens? These Rishigana, these seven sages, what do? Their duty is that after every Chaturyuga, when the Kali Yuga comes and after Kali Yuga, when there has to be Satyuga, then they give the knowledge of principles of religion, and that's how they set up the dharma, and that's how the Satyuga comes. When Lord says Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma sanstapnarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge, he says in every millennium I come to establish the principles of a religion. So in every millennium, that means after every Kali Yuga, when Satyuga comes, these seven sages or set of seven sages, which are different set in every manvantar, they preach or they impart the knowledge of principles of religion, and that's how they set up the Satyuga again. This is their duty, and in between they keep on advising the Manus and all this. So, like when Bali Maharaj, he was no, tricked by Lord Vamandev, and in three steps, when Lord Vamandev took away everything from Bali Maharaj, Lord was very pleased with Bali Maharaj. But since he had promised to Aditi that he will appear as his son and he will give back the heavenly kingdom which Bali Maharaj had taken from Indra after defeating him in the war. So since Lord Vaman Dev had given this promise to Aditi, therefore Lord Vaman tricked Bali Maharaj and took away all his kingdom in just three steps. But there Lord was so pleased with Bali Maharaj's surrender that he said, till the time Indra, that is Purandara, current Indra, is there, you will be there in the Sutallok. And the facility in Sutallok is no less than the heavenly planets. Lord Sudarshan is protecting there, Bali Maharaj always. Even Prahlad Maharaj is gone to Sutallok. And all the descendant of Prahlad Maharaj are there in the Sutallok. And they will remain there till the next Manu comes. In the Savarni Manu's regime, Bali Maharaj will become the Indra. Lord has promised him, Vamandev, that I am taking you from this, I'm taking you this heavenly kingdom, but you will become the Indra in next Manmantra. Until that time also, you enjoy there in Sutalok. There is no lax facility. There is called Bilaswarg in the lower planetary systems, which has no less facility than in the heavenly planets, even higher than that. There Bali Maharaj is residing. There Bali Maharaj is staying. So now, by receiving instructions from a particular incarnation of the Lord in a particular mantra, the Manus and the sons of Manu they rule and they protect the universe, and that's how this universe is maintained. That's how this universe is maintained. Lord appears in the various ages in various ways, like to establish the religion. Lord says, I come. So these even seven sages, they are said to be incarnation of the Lord. Lord appears as Sanak, Sanatan, Yagvalik, Dattatreya, and in other forms also to impart the spiritual knowledge and to tell the devotees and to tell about the principles of yoga. And that's how Marich and the other sons of Brahma, they are also said to be, empowered incarnations of the Lord. In this particular verse, Sri Rajovach Manvantaresh Bhagwan Yatha Manva Ade Stame Yasmin Karmani Ye Nyuktas Talvasme. Sukdev Goswami has been addressed as Bhagwan. As we know, the definition of Bhagwan by Parasar Muni is this. Yashvara se samagare se veere se sasriye Gyan Vairagya Suyuk Sanamam Bhagatingana. There are six opulences, and anybody who has these opulences in part or in full, he can be called as Bhagwan. Like when we call somebody as fortunate, Bhagyavan, that means he has some fortune. When we call somebody a rich person, that is dhanvan, that means he has some richness. When we say somebody is sundarvan, he has some beauty. Similarly, a person who has even little opulence in part, he can be called as Bhagavan. Even so, similarly, Sukhdev Goswami is being addressed here as Bhagavan because the six opulences are Asuras Samagras Veeras, like power and fame, beauty, richness, renunciation, knowledge. These are six opulences. These are six opulences, and any person who has these in part or full, he can be addressed as God. But Krishna has all these opulences in full, therefore, Krishna is said to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From this point of view, even many times Brahmaji is addressed as Bhagavan, Naraji is addressed as Bhagavan, Shiva is addressed as Bhagavan. Similarly, Sukdev Goswami is addressed here as Bhagavan because he has complete renunciation. He has knowledge, complete spiritual knowledge Sukdev Goswami has. And elsewhere, he has been a person who has complete renunciation and complete knowledge. He is said to be as good as God Himself. Sukdev Goswami is as good as God Himself. Therefore, he is addressed as Bhagavan in this verse. Otherwise, also to show any respect to a personality, he may be addressed as Bhagavan. But in actuality, the supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna only because he has only six. He is the only one personality who has six opulences in full. Opulence like being wealthy, like the richness, and renunciation. Just as sense gratification and Krishna consciousness goes together, similarly for conditioned souls, the opulence of richness and renunciation, it cannot exist together. Like either we can become very good devotees by becoming a renunciant, or we can become a rich person. It cannot happen that because a rich person automatically has attachment. As richness grows, a person's attachment to the material world and possessions grows. That's for sure. But Krishna is the only personality who has all the richness and still he is completely renounced. And he has exhibited this many times, even in Vrindavan and even in the Mausal Leela in Dwarka. Krishna has exhibited this thing that he's completely renounced, completely renunciation. Even Lord Ramchandra exhibited this quality, completely renunciation. Lord Ramchandra had to, renounce. He has to, give up Sita ji. And in the latter stage of his reign, Lord Ramchandra had to give up the most dear brother, that is Lakshman also. He had to give up. Conditions so came there. So Lord has 100% renunciation. From this point of view, Sukdev Goswami has been addressed here as Bhagavan. Bhagavan means great sage. That also means. This topic is actually based, universal affairs. How to, control the universal affairs. This is what the name of this chapter, and these are the manus who conduct the universal affairs. Humans in Hindi, there's a word called Manav. So the word Manav means one who is descended from Manu. Manu, the descendants are said to be Manav. Like we are descendant of Manu, therefore we are called Manav or humans. Humans have certain, you know, rules and regulations. They know don'ts and do's. So in order to be a civilized human, or actually in order to be a human, one has to know the do's and don'ts of the scriptures. Sarvid Niseda Siyatayo Kinkara. Vismartavyam, Smartavyam Satam Vishnu, Vismartavyam Jarchit. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. All the principles those are given in the Vedic scriptures are servant of this principle. There are so many do's and don'ts in Vedic scriptures. That you do this and don't do this. Do this and don't do this. This is what the Vedic scriptures have of. But simply always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the prime do and don'ts. What they do, always remember Krishna. What they don't, never forget Krishna. So all do's and don'ts are actually servant of this principle. That is, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And one who has attained the state of always remember Krishna is not obliged to study scriptures. And it is also said in the Devhuti in Lord Kapila's discussion, Ahovato supachot garyan yat jibha agre vartate nam tapyam tev tapape juhus snarya brahma nurchan grantiyate. O my Lord, those people who are chanting your holy name, it must be assumed that in their previous lives or in their past time, they have bathed in all the pilgrimages. They have performed lot of pious activities. They have performed lot of austerities. They have studied various scriptures, and they have done lot of hearing about you. Because the result of all this is simply that the one's tongue can, yeah. How glorious are they whose tongue are chanting your holy name, even if they are born in the lower families. So, Mother Devuti is, glorifying Lord Kapila by saying this thing that any person who ultimately is chanting His holy name it is supposed or is assumed that he has performed all the purificatory activities in his previous life. Or in other words, let's say, if somehow or other way they have not performed these activities in previous lives, if we start chanting the holy name of the Lord, then we get the benefit of all these purificatory processes, like bathing in the pilgrimages, giving charity, performing austerities, all these. So one gets benefit of all these purificatory activities if one starts or takes up to chanting. And after one has taken up to chanting, then he develops lot of sukriti, bhajanonmukhi sukriti, that pious activity which takes him more towards worshiping the Supreme Lord, more towards the worship, devotion of the Supreme Lord. Then one's richness of devotion, it increases more and more. And gradually, when one has attained a position where one is able to remember the Lord all 24 hours, he is not obliged. Because all the do's and don'ts in the scriptures are simply the servant of this principle only. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So, this is what is there in this chapter, and there are going to be even deeper discussions about this topic in subsequent verses. We have just taken first three verses, and this is the simple introduction of this chapter. So thank you all very much. If there are any questions and queries, you may kindly raise or comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. It's very enlightening, and you covered all the cantos of recap of Bhagavatam, Prabhu. Prabhuji's Mataji, if anybody have any questions or realization you'd like to share, please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Prabhuji, can you say when Manvanta incarnation appears, does that Manvanta teaches to all incarnations, all Manvantas, or only to specific Manu he gives instructions?
Can you repeat your question? I just could not hear you.
Yeah. Prabhuji, when Manvanta incarnation happens, when Lord appears as Manvanta, does he instruct to all the Manus or to only just one specific Manu, and that Manu will transfer knowledge to all?
That is specific Manu only, because Lord is appearing in a specific Manu's period, and then there has to be somebody who has to instruct the particular Manu. So the Lord who incarnates as particular, Manvantara avatar, he instructs that particular Manu. Yeah, because the Manu is like, king, and king is supposed to be the representative of the Lord himself. Even in earthly kingdom, in Vuloka, here, whoever used to be the kings, they used to be the religious, those kings who were, you know conversant with the religious principles. They understood it fully well that they are representative of the Lord, and that way they were, ruling. But those who were not following this principle, they were killed by Lord Parasuram, and they were said to be the irreligious, kings, and that's how their armies and uh, their followers, they become burden on the earth. When earth was so burdened that earth went to, Lord Brahma in the form of cow. Go bhutva asmuki kinna kridanti karodo. Vastata antike tasmi vyasnam samavachat. So the religious rulers are said to be the representative of the Lord, and so are said to be the Manu. And in order that they can understand the principles of religion fully well, Lord incarnates in a particular Manvantar and imparts knowledge to that particular Manu, because that particular Manu exists at that time.
Okay, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, the Prajapati, the Yajna, the Lord Incarnation Yajna instructed to which Manu, Prabhu, exactly?
Sambhavu. Sambhavu.
Yes, Prabhu?
Sambhavu.
Swayambhu. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Okay,
Thank you,
any other-
Sunil Prabhu. Is any other devotees have any questions for Prabhuji?
Okay, no questions, so we can close the session here. Thank you all very much for hearing so patiently.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. We are very grateful for you, and we look forward for your session again and again, Prabhuji. Let us pay obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रेस हरिदास ठाकुर प्रभु जी की जय।
Ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhu, for beautiful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, God.
Radhe Radhe.
Yeah.